Good afternoon, guys. Today is Monday, January 26th. I'm going to show you a few things on the method I'm going to use for this plane as far as covering the model. I'm going to do it with dope. I have SIG nitrate clear dope that I'm going to use for this plane. I did use some acrylic products in the past, like polyacrylic or the stuff like that. But I feel the acrylic base into these clear are a little bit heavier than the dope. The dope is very light. You can get butyrate dope. Butyrate is fuel proof and it's going to shrink a little bit more than the nitrate dope. So for all the small models, electric or free flight with rubber powered and stuff like that, I've always used nitrate dope because it doesn't put as much strength on the paper. So for some more flimsy constructions, the butyrate dope might distort and twist some components because the paper is pulling too hard when the dope is curing. And one other thing I also do is for the smaller, thinner areas like this, I will cover with a piece of paper on both sides. But when it's time to apply dope, I will apply dope on both sides at the same time, so the curing occurs at the same time and it prevents twisting of the components for the weaker parts. So yeah, and I'm also going to show you how to fix a repair. I did cover the hatch, and I had a small incident installing the pins, the pin guides for the hatch to stay in place. So I'm going to show you how I thought it was a good occasion to show how I'm going to fix this and make it so it doesn't show at all. So the first step when I cover an airplane like this is I'm going to use the dope, and I will apply a coat on the perimeter all around like this, not in the center, just on the perimeter, and I will let it set. That way, when I place the paper and I attach it to the sides with the dope, it's going to have a better adhesion to the structure. I take time to prepare my piece of paper like this. So I have the hole for the landing gear. I made a small hole for the servo. I cut the paper to the proper size, and I took the decision to leave the servo door in place. I removed the screws. This is flush with the surface because I don't have much wire and I don't want to play with this. I would have to make a bigger hole to run it through the paper and so on. I thought it would be easier to just cover, make sure the paper is glued all around the perimeter of the servo cover, and then I will use my X-Acto blade to cut it off and remove the piece of paper from the cover. So that's the step I'm going through to install that piece of paper. You will also need a small water spray bottle like this, but what you want to do when you place the piece of paper on your the tissue on the part you want to cover, you just want a very light mist of water. You don't want to make this thing overly wet. So make sure your bottle, the atomizer on it is very fine. You don't want something that will get the paper all wet with heavy droplets of water. So that's my bottle, and I clean my brushes with acetone. I know there are some specific thinner for dope. They're probably better, but acetone works, and this is what I have now, so this is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to put this one in place, and I'm going to show you how we do the repair. And once everything is set, I will keep on this video to show you how I terminate this. So I put my paper in place like this. I'm going to use the spray bottle to water it just like this. And then I will pull on the paper to put it in place. You see I'm removing that big wrinkle in the, it was a fold in the paper. So I'm just pulling everything like this. So this being a flat bottom wing, it's very easy. But if the wing is too complex, you can cover it with 2 pieces of paper or 3 pieces of paper. It doesn't have to be one single piece. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to apply dope on the perimeter. Like so. Yeah, the finger trick is working good. I think it is still possible to get dope, at least in North America. I think Brodak is still supplying with dope. In Canada, I believe Great Hobbies carries the Brodak dope. So yeah, so it is a good, still a good product for covering model airplanes with paper tissue like this one. I don't really care about the paper sticking to the plastic door. As I will cut it off, I will be able to remove the paper from that cover, that's for sure. So that's it. Now we'll let the paper dry out, and as the paper will dry, the dope will also dry and hold the paper in place, and then I will just have to trim, cut, and do other surfaces before I do any before I apply any dope onto the paper, the components. So let me show you what I do for repairs like this. This area was really damaged, and this one had a little hole, so I removed both areas. I've repaired a piece of balsa that I broke, and I'm gonna recover this with a piece of paper. So what I do, I take a piece of paper a little bit oversized like this, and instead of cutting the edges of the paper with scissors, what you do is that you just tear the paper like this, just making sure your paper is oversized, and you just tear it off like this. By tearing the paper, it makes the fiber to thin out that piece of paper, and when you apply this to your model, it almost disappears. It's very easy to make it disappear. So because this has been doped, I have no issue of redoping this again, like applying another coat. I'm just gonna spray the water on it like this. I'm gonna place the piece of paper to make sure there's no wrinkles. This should be the job, should do the job now. And I will apply the dope on the edges, just like this. So even if you have a model that is painted and you have a hole to repair, or some major repairs or not, or basic little things, this trick works fine. You can make the repair, and it is very, very difficult to see that there is a patch, because the fibers are really, by tearing out the piece of paper, the fibers are getting that edge very, very thin, and it just disappears. You don't see it. So that's for the repair. I will let that set, and I will trim and cover with dope. Well, thanks for watching all this, and I'll keep working on this and keep updating that video. Today is Wednesday, January 28th. Keep working on the P40. Should be able to do quite a lot of covering today. Just to show you, the patch I made is dried, and I can't feel the paper that I teared and glued in place. I just can't feel it. When you cover with these paper, you need to have some very, very sharp blades. You see, I'm going to use that X-Acto blade to cut on the side, but don't try to do this with a dull blade. You either have to use new blades, or if you you can do like I do. I take a 600 grit sandpaper, and I just use that paper on a piece of glass or metal, and I use it to like a file to sharpen my blades. So yeah, this one will be ready to cover up with dope, and once it's painted, we won't see that patch. I did cover the other side of the wing, like I did this on the video, and I did this side. Now I will cut the edges, and I will trim this area to remove the paper where the servo cover is. And I also did this part. Now when you have complex curves like this and a big piece of paper, sometimes you just can't do it in one piece. And this is what happened here because of the complexity of the curve. I could not place the paper without having some big wrinkles in it. So I decided to use dope along this former and along this stringer to secure this this piece of paper, and I let it dry, and now I will cut this off, and I will use a small piece of paper to cover that area only, so I will avoid having some wrinkles in that area. So I'm gonna show you that a little bit later. So yeah, I'm gonna remove this, like so, and I will also remove it. Just works a little bit better when you use both hands, like so. Okay, so what I will do now is I will make sure all the edges that I've just cut. I will apply dope again to make sure that it's glued properly on the edge, and I use my finger and just rub it like that, so that makes a perfect finish. This will be overlapped with another piece of paper. I'll put some dope here again. I'll put some more here. And here is going to be covered with another small piece of paper. So I will let that set, and I will add a piece of paper here. Now I will use my X-Acto blade and I will trim off the wing and do the same thing around the perimeter, adding some dope. You can also use some sandpaper, like 400 grit or 320 grit sandpaper, and sand the edges. Some people will do that instead of using a blade. I did both. Both were good. Now I have to be careful here just to trim on the side. Now I will do the servo area. I will remove that piece of paper. And now we'll remove the servo area and glue the edges with the dope. This is a little bit tricky with the servo cover in place. And I will do the same thing all around the perimeter. This makes sure that all your edges are glued properly. Hopefully the camera is well positioned and you can see all this. So that's the second step. You can see that the paper is tight. There's no wrinkles, nothing. It's just a perfect covering. So that's the step I'll do, and I'll do this all around the airplane, and then after I'm finished with the paper, I will start applying dope to the whole surface and then the colors. But yeah, I'll keep working on the paper job, and hopefully by the end of the day this airplane will be fully covered. Thanks for watching this. Hi guys, today is Monday, February 2nd. It's pretty damn cold in Montreal for the last 2 weeks, so doing a lot of things in my shop. I just finished the covering of this airplane. Get all the paper tissue in place. There's no I didn't apply the first coat of dope on it, but I just wanted to weight the airplane as it is now, and it is 109 grams. So I went from 105 grams to 109, so 4 grams to complete this covering. So that's pretty good. So I wanted to show you up close. Hopefully the focus is going to be good. There will be after I apply a first coat of dope on the paper, there will be a fillet here to add a wing fairing. You can see the bottom part. There's going to be some plastic parts to glue in place. I did glue the plastic exhaust stack to the main access panel here in the front, and I just need to cut them so that this can be removed. Made a hole on the wing, many people working around the airplane, so once I have a first coat of dope, I will make a patch over this area. And I wanted to show you when you apply dope to small surface like that, very thin, like 1/16 of an inch, of course it can twist and distort. So what I'm doing, I either apply dope on both sides, but I think for this airplane what I will do, I will use some pins and I will hold it down to my board without having the pins going through the wood, just like this. I will just put some pins like this. I will hold the elevators flat, and I will dope the area. So that way I will prevent bending and twisting when the dope will cure, and it will shrink on the paper a little bit. So yeah, doing this will prevent any warping or any deformation of the elevators and rudder. The ailerons are thick, it is not going to happen. So I'm gonna do this for the elevator. Add a coat of dope, let it set for a bit, maybe 30 minutes, and then flip it over and start over for the second side. So I will apply one coat of dope all around and on all the surfaces, and then I will sand very lightly with a 600 grit sandpaper, and I will go for the color. So in the next video you will see me doing some finishing on this airplane, like painting, doing the colors and all that. and then it's going to be finishing the radio installation, all the plastic fairings, wheels, gear struts, everything necessary to complete this airplane and get it ready to fly. Thanks for watching.